Chris Holrich. So Chris has a great question. Okay, so Chris is asking for a viable business. And he's saying he's tried, right, pay-per-call, right? He's tried this, he's tried that. So Chris, I believe in today's age, in today's market, in terms of agencies, that you need to be one vertical centric. Don't get me wrong, I built, scaled, and sold a 6-figure or 7-figure pay-per-call agency that wasn't just focused on one vertical, right? So it's still possible to do. But I believe right now in the actions that I'm taking in building my next agency and the vision and kind of the thought process that I'm taking, I can share with you based upon my feedback, Chris, and building multiple agencies in the past, right? So the thing that I'm doing now is I'm going very, very deep in one vertical, okay? So pick just one, okay? Then we're offering multiple services and offerings to that one vertical, okay? Simple enough, right? The hard part in this is not getting distracted when Susie is a referral and she comes to you and says, can you help me, Chris? And she's not in one of these verticals, right? You got to have the strength and you got to have the courage and you got to have the discipline to say no, right? I can't help you, okay? If I were you, I would have somebody else that you could refer business to that you knew could take care of Susie or whoever you get referred to you that doesn't fit with the niche in the market that you're going after, right? And ask them for a percentage of the revenue that that client makes, right? That's not, that's not a hard deal to swing, right? Hey, Mr. Agency Owner, can I get 20% for every deal I send your way? Can I get 10%, 15%, whatever? That's not hard. Okay, so we're just going to focus on one vertical, okay? And then we're going to have to offer more than one service to the vertical, okay? And my goal is to be dominant in that vertical, okay? So by dominant, we're going to either offer, teach, or train on everything that the vertical needs in terms of marketing, right? I want to be their one-stop shop, okay? Will I do everything under the sun for them? No, but I can recommend or refer people out that can. Why? Why do I want to be the everything for that market? Why? Because when I hear them or when they think of marketing, I want them to think about my business and me. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, Chris. Okay, so with that, right, what are all the marketing services that we could offer, right? We could offer a reputation, right? What else? We could offer social media. We could offer retargeting. We could offer some tracking setup along with call tracking. Okay, we could offer Google ads. We could offer Bing ads. We could offer local SEO and Google Maps. That for me is always in one package though, guys, because one affects the other so closely. So I would never just sell Google Maps ranking and not local SEO because it's one and the same basically. Okay, what else, guys? What am I missing here? Let's get a little interactive here. What am I missing here? We don't have Facebook ads. We do have retargeting, but not for cold traffic. So Facebook ads for cold traffic, we'll say specifically. What else? What am I missing, guys? Email marketing. It's a good one. One that most people don't really think of in terms of like quote unquote local businesses too. Okay, now Scott says sales training. So this is what I would do, right? I would handle this part and training on this part if I were you, right? Yourself, right? Then you got other like related services / help that you can help them get, right? So this, okay, could be things like sales training. So you could go find a sales trainer for the space right? That's really good. And you can make a simple agreement with him. Hey, I'll help train your list on how to do marketing services if you train my list on how to do sales training for that niche. Right, now you got a win-win. Does that make sense to everybody? Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Okay. Okay, what else you got? You got software. I mean, you're definitely going to need some type of CRM. Okay, so you could do the same thing. Find a very specific piece of software, a CRM that somebody else has built and that's being used heavily in that industry, and go partner with a software CRM company and do the same thing. Hey, I'd like to have you come on and do a couple trainings and a couple webinars for my list, and I'd like to do the same for you. I'd like to come on and I'd like to do some free training for your tribe, for your list on, and give them a couple options. Okay, notice, Frankie Allen says, hey, Joe Troyer, what's up, Frankie? Good to see you, man. Notice that I keep saying list. So, I mean, this can be a lot more. This can be like merchant accounts. This could be print companies, right? This could be suppliers, right? Like you could keep stretching this out further and further and further. But the point that I was making is understand that I keep talking about this list. This list. I don't know how I just made a copy of this keynote presentation. Some kind of shortcut, I guess, I don't know. I keep talking about this list. At the end of the day, how many of your agencies have built an email list, right? Or you stay in front of your customers, and when you send out an email or you hold a webinar, right, your list shows up. Give me a 1 if you've done that, and give me a 2 if you've not. Yeah, so I'm just getting 2s. Nobody's done it. Okay, almost nobody. Chris has done it. So I think that you should be building a list. And you should be thinking about building an agency business and a viable agency business. I think you should think about it how software companies think about their business, how info product marketers think about their business, right? You guys have heard, I'm sure if you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times, that the money's in the list, right? Give me a 3 if you guys have all heard that 1,000,000 times, right? The money is in the list. It costs the most amount of money, time, and effort to acquire the customer the first time, right? Then you just keep marketing to them. How many of you guys want me to give you guys a schedule in an easy way that within an hour of work a month, you guys could stay in front of a niche, right? You could be mailing that list, emailing that list nonstop, and you could stay in front of them everywhere. Yeah, you guys want that? Multi-touch point is critical. There is. Let's talk about that too. You guys want me to do a map on this? You guys want me to map this out right in front of you guys? I will. If that's like the hot topic and that's where this webinar goes, that's where this webinar goes. Want me to map out a 7-figure business in front of you guys? This is where I'm going in my next business. So that's why I can talk about this. I spent a lot of time thinking about this. Okay. Okay, so we've talked about being in one niche. So somebody just give me a random niche. This isn't the niche, obviously, that I'm going to go in, but let's solidify a niche right here, right now, just for the sake of example, all right? Give me a niche. Scott Lindsay says realtor. All right, realtor it is. Okay, would I necessarily go after realtors? Probably not, but that's fine. For the sake of example, that's fine. So our market is realtors. Okay, so we're going to offer, teach, or train on everything marketing. So what does that mean? We're going to have some offers that we're only going to train on. We're not going to do it for them. So we're going to have some done for you, and we'll have some done with you, right? And we'll have some completely done, and others will refer to other people. Crystal clear? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up with what our offers would be. Okay, and guys, these are our offers. Okay, if I'm going to do Google ads at the same time, I'm going to do Bing ads. I wouldn't charge for that separately. Okay, and again, for me, guys, in this business model, for me, it's all about building the list fast. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to clean this up a little bit. All right. So for me, it's all about building a list fast. Okay, so how do I go into the realtor market and how do I build a list fast? Okay, for me to do that, I'm going to need to give away some crazy, undeniable offers, right? And that's how I'm going to build my list really quickly. So real life example, folks, okay? How many of you guys bought Sendwire? Give me a 4 in the chat. I think we're up to the number 4. Give me a number 4 in the chat if you bought the Sendwire offer at some point. Give me a 4 in the chat. And then if you gave me a 4, tell me why you bought it. Tell me why you bought it. For those of you guys that bought, why did you buy it? So for most of you guys, for a lot of you guys, not all of you guys, we got some OGs on the call. That was the first time that you guys got introduced to me. Okay, so why did you guys buy it? You didn't know me, right? You didn't know me from Adam, right? Why did you guys put your trust on me and what made you pull the trigger? Give me some feedback in the chat. I want this to be interactive. I want you guys to think about this. Greg Stillman said, badass offer. So that is it, okay? So the way that we're going to swallow up the market of realtors and how we're going to get traction fast is we're going to make badass offers, as Greg Stillman would say, right? I would say, like, my word would be like undeniable offers, or an offer that seems too good to be true, right? That's what we want to do. So what I would do is I would, okay, come up with offers, right? And I come up with a couple of them that are too good to be true, so to speak, that are badass, and that take me very little time to fulfill on. Okay, so I have criteria for this that I've built in my business. So when somebody on my team says, Joe, let's offer this, I say, does it match that criteria? No, it doesn't. Shit. Joe, I got the best idea ever. Does it match that criteria? No, it doesn't. Joe, I got the best idea ever. Does it match that criteria? Yeah, actually, we made it match the criteria. Fantastic, right? Like, I want those ideas all day. So for me, we have to be able to fulfill in under a half an hour on whatever it is that we're offering. The value has to be at minimum worth, for us internally, it's a little high, but at minimum worth $500 one-time minimum. Okay, that is what it has to be, and it has to feel like it's a no-brainer offer. Okay, if we can get some context built around that and it meets that criteria, we'll take the next steps. For us, then the next steps is really fleshing out what you get, right? So what are the bullet points? What are the things that they're going to get inside this package? And we're going to make it crystal clear. Okay, so we'll go look at sales pages for other competing offers in the industry, right? Whether it's, you know, in the realtor industry or in other industries, and we'll see what people could buy social media for, what people could buy reputation for, what people could buy email marketing for, and we'll compare that against our offer. And we will make a no-brainer offer where we will give away reputation or social media or email marketing or retargeting, or, right, it could be any of the things on the screen. We will give away a package of that and make a badass offer. Everybody following me so far? Please give me some feedback in the chat. Give me a 1, give me an explanation point, give me a hell yes, give me something. Okay, Eric says brilliant. Okay, so we could take it and we could do it on reputation, for example. We could say you're gonna get not complete reputation suite with everything, right? You get a piece of it, and other people charge, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 to get this. We're going to give it to you for free. Okay. We always like to have the option to be able to upgrade somebody more stuff, right? So if they come in, they use it, they love it, and there's some more features that we can unlock and we can give it to them, right? We can sell it to them at a price that's reasonable, that they will love, that they will appreciate, but that also helps us pay for our cost of goods, right? That helps offset any onboarding, any training, any salespeople, etc. We good with that? Give me a 3 if that makes sense. Okay, and again, half an hour or less fulfillment time. Has to be. If you go more than that, you're going to be upside down, because I'm going to teach you guys how to sell this shit fast, right? You're giving it away. Okay, and if you have to, if your fulfillment time is an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours and you're giving it away for free, trust me, you will end up, screwed. You'll get 30 people in your first week that say yes, and you basically just built yourself a full-time job not getting paid for the next month. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to create an offer that's free. And if I were you, I would create 3 to 4 of these. And I'm just saying free on all of these. These first 4 as an example. Okay, so let's say that we built a package around reputation. Okay, that was free. Okay, again, the value needs to be at least 500 to 1,000 bucks. Okay, obviously, the more, the better. The stronger the offer is. Okay, but I also want to have room to upsell something. And ideally, it's just more features. Okay, so I don't have to convince them to, once they're in reputation and they said yes to me on a free offer, I don't have to convince them that social media is important. I don't want to do that pitch, right? I don't want to convince them that they should be spending $5,000 a month on Google Ads and come buy Google Ads management from me, right? I just want a little bit of room right away to make an upsell where I can just give them some more features on what they already bought. Give me a 4 if that makes sense. Not a new sell and not a cross sell and upsell truly. It needs to be an upsell truly. Again, not a cross sell and not an upsell, or not a cross sell. It needs to be an upsell. Okay, it needs to be like an upgrade. Frankie says, totally get this. Carolyn says 4. Fantastic. Good stuff. Okay. So we're going to do this. Okay, and we're going to come up with 4 of these. Okay, so let's say that these are my 4. Okay, for every one of these, we need to have what I would call a trigger. Okay, and what I mean by trigger is something that we can use in our marketing to find these people, right? Some type of issue that they have. So when we reach out to them, we can say, hey, Mr. Prospect, I noticed this, and I can give you this to solve it. Right? So, hey, Mr. Prospect, I noticed you have this problem, and I'd like to help you solve it for free with your free offer. Okay? So what could a trigger be, or a problem be, right, that this solves? Bad reviews, yep. What else? What could another trigger be? Frankie, great job. I can tell you're paying attention, homie. What else? They don't have the 5 stars. Yeah, so there's no, I'm going to say no 5-star map snippet. Okay, what else? Yeah, they have, let's say they have like 10 or less reviews. Then we could say like, dude, you just don't have many reviews. You need to get some more reviews. Here's why, right? Show them some kind of case study and then say, take me up on my offer. Is everyone following along? Okay, please give me a 1 if you're following along. We're all on the same page and we'll keep taking it down the road here. We'll keep kicking the ball down the field. Okay, hoo-ah. All right, so then we're going to do this with social media. Okay, so again, I want room. So I'm not going to say like, I'll do your social media forever for free. No, but I could say something like, I will do your social media. I'll do, 3 posts per day for 90 days for free. So I think that 90 days is a good number. 30 days is like, like, is it even worth me talking to you, right? Because then it's like, what's going to happen after the 30 days? And we got to have this awkward conversation, right? So like, I want it kind of out of sight, out of mind with something like social media, right? So I would say for 90 days, we'll do it for free. So again, the beautiful thing here, guys, is if we're going into one market, if we're going into realtors, how much customization do you think that we need to do on the social media posts? How much customization do you think we need to do? So if we sell a realtor in West Palm and we sell one in Miami, how much customization do you think we need to do? Eric says not a lot. Guys, how much customization do you think we need to do? We need to change out the name, right? We need to change out, you know, the office or whoever, you know, they're working through, right? But all of that stuff is like as simple as a find and replace, right? Could that be done in 30 minutes or less? Could that be done in 30 minutes or less? Yes or no? Yeah, 100%. Could that be done in 30 minutes or less? And you could automate the dripping out for 90 days using something like Buffer, right? Or one of the other social media syndication softwares. Totally, 100%. Okay, so this could easily be done. Okay, so what's the trigger? What's the trigger? What's the trigger that we're going to look for? Meaning, what are the, how do we know that this person is right for us to go pitch? What's a trigger? What's a trigger for us to identify that this person needs our help with social media posts? Yeah, no recent posts. Okay, you could do something in terms of a criteria like less than X amount of posts in X amount of time, right? If they're not averaging 2 posts a day, it's a perfect fit, right? Then you show them a case study that you found talking about it's important to post over 2 times a day. There we go. Free social media for 90 days makes a great entrance point. Okay, I mean, a complete lack of social media, like no social media, like no profiles is another great one. Okay, so now we got 3 triggers, right, for social media. Okay, and we could do the same, if I can spell, we could do the same with email marketing and we could do the same with retargeting. Okay, so how could we do this with email? The trigger would be simple, like, do they have an email list? Right? Another trigger could be like, is there an opt-in on their site? Okay, so there's 2, and we could come up with more, but let's just go fast through these so that I can give you guys a real life example of each of these, all right? So what would the trigger be for retargeting? What could a trigger be for a retargeting service that we're gonna offer for free? Yeah, no pixel on the page. No retargeting pixel. Okay, so we could even divide this up. So we could say no Google retargeting pixel. The second thing that we could look for is no Facebook retargeting pixel. Right, so there's 2 things that we could do right away. Okay, we could also do some type of search for call that's retargeting only, right? So let's just, those 2 are good. Okay, so if we build out 4 offers like this, and you guys really flesh them out, they're all easily worth $500 to $1,000, no questions asked. You guys will be able to give them away for free easily. Give me a 3 if you're like, holy shit, like this is amazing. And you guys can see how you could build like just a freaking huge ass list of raving customers, right? Using this. I mean, absolutely raving. Everybody would freaking love you. If I gave you guys all free reputation for your business, if I gave you guys all free social media for 90 days, right? If I gave you guys all, right? If we turn the tables and I act like you're the customer, you're the realtor, right? If I gave you email marketing for free for 90 days, right? If I gave you retargeting free, right? Do you guys think that I would be able to build a massive, massive email list of customers and prospects that freaking are rabid fans? Yes or know in the chat. Let me know. Man, I only got a handful of yeses. There we go. Okay. All right. Now they're coming. Okay. All right. Yes, yes. Frick yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah. 333. Okay. Yep. All right. So we could definitely do that. So basically, I would come up with a handful of free marketing services, right? Then I'd come up with upsells for each free marketing service. Okay, and again, my goal is just to help break even on my costs, okay, between sales and fulfillment, right? So it's the same goal as like having a tripwire, right? It's the reason that people sell $10 offers or $20 offers or $30 offers, right? And then, right, because then they get you to ascend into a higher level package, right? And they're able to pay for their marketing costs. Okay, so that is the point here as well. Okay, so the goal here is for me to be able to sell something in the neighborhood of $500 to $1,000 on that upsell. Okay, so I offer them reputation for free. I get them in, I get them using it, I get them loving it, right? They're getting results. And now I give them an opportunity to unlock some more features. Okay, and again, I stick with reputation. I'm not going to skip, right? I'm not going to go cross-sell into social media right away. I'm going to give them more of what they already agreed to. Guys, the easiest upsell, bar none, is to sell people more of what they already have. That will out-convert everything else every single fucking time. Okay? So we're going to make that upsell, and then we're going to have our true paid recurring offers. So free marketing offers. Then we're going to have upsells for the free marketing offers. And then we're going to have truly like paid recurring offers. And guys, this is where we're going to make our money. Okay? This is where we're going to make our money. Okay, so in here, we should have, each of these should be worth at minimum $1,000 a month recurring for each service at minimum that goes into our pocket. Okay, what I'm not talking about is gross, and then you pay for ad spend. So in this example, $1,000 a month for me to manage the account and for me to pay $750 in ad spend. That's bullshit. You don't make any money there, right? That should be obvious, but I see people selling pay-per-click all the frickin' time, and they're not making any money, right? When you don't make any money, how much time are you going to spend working on it, right? So every day you're inside this account, or you tell somebody you're going to be, and yet you're only making $250 a month. You spend an hour in there every day, and you're making $250 a month in a management fee, right? Like, tell me that you're going to do an awesome job for them, right? Because my assumption is you're going to do a shit job, right? You got to be paid. You got to be incentivized for results. Okay. So this one is probably more, this tracking and call tracking is probably more like an upsell, right? Not so much one of these paid recurring offers, right? That probably goes in like one of the upsells. So I'm just going to move that up there. So then this one is definitely meets the criteria. So Google Ads and Bing Ads, $1,000 a month recurring minimum. This can definitely, local SEO and Google Maps can definitely be that. And your cost of goods are going to be very low. You're going to net, $900 a month, probably $800 a month. Maybe not month one, but moving on from month one. And then the same for Facebook ads. You can definitely get in, right, the minimum criteria. Okay. So now the question becomes, how do we sell at scale the paid recurring offers once we have a list of rabid buyers right, that came in from these free marketing offers. You guys want to know how to sell this at scale? Trust me, I've learned a lot of lessons from onboarding and selling one-on-one lots and lots of local businesses. I have a bit of a different take on it than I used to, and I have a different outlook. I have a different way that I'm going to be attacking it inside of my new agency. Yeah, webinars. Webinars and email marketing. Okay, so first is email marketing. So whenever somebody buys any of the free products, so as soon as they buy a free product, they're going to get put on an indoctrination sequence. Okay, that indoctrination sequence is kind of two parts. Okay, the first part is essentially more onboarding and tips for the product they just bought, is part number one, or that they got for free. Okay, the second part is all about us building our relationship and bond with the customer. Okay, so this could be, you know, let's call it 3 or 4 emails over the first week, and this could be 3 or 4 emails over the first week. Okay, so we're going to over deliver like a mofo. We're going to make sure that we get them to double opt in. We're going to, you know, we're going to incentivize them to double opt in and give them something else, right? We're just going to blow the doors off of our relationship from step number 1. Okay, so then once a month, we're going to hold a webinar. On one topic. So the primary topics here, guys, are going to be on one of the paid offers. Okay? Why? Because that's where we make our money. Okay, so these would be the webinars. Okay, so month number 1, we have a webinar on Google Ads and Bing Ads. Okay, we talk about best practices, we talk about case studies. As we start to get more and more case studies from our customers, we start talking about negative keyword lists, we start talking about any jargon or any updates that happen, right? We add in, right? So let's say that Google AdWords, right, phases out, and now they're Google Ads. We're obviously going to talk about that the next time that we hold a webinar about Google Ads and Bing Ads. Okay, month 2 then. For example, we'd roll into local SEO and Google Maps for specifically, right, for realtors. Okay, month number 3, we talk about Facebook ads with cold traffic, right, for realtors. Everybody following me, give me a 3, please. Okay, you guys ready for this thing to get nasty? This thing's about to get ridiculous. This is about to get ridiculous. This is about to get ridiculous. Okay, so the content formula for the webinar, guys, is really simple. Okay, so it's essentially best practices that you advertise as secrets. So I'm going to put them in quotes, right? Or misconceptions, right? So we just had a webinar about pay-per-call, right? And frankly, everybody's selling pay-per-call ass backwards, and every time they do it, they screw themselves. Every time they make a sale using the pitch that everybody's using, right? So it's a best practice, or it's a should be best practice, and here's why, right? So you frame those out as secrets. Does that make sense? Give me a 4 if that makes sense. So you're going to take a list of the best practices or should be best practices, and on that webinar, you're going to give the best practices, right? So you're going to have a headline for the webinar, right? And it's going to be essentially something like this: everything you need to know about for everything you need to know about Facebook advertising for realtors, everything you need to know about Google Ads for realtors, right? Or it could be something like a case study, right? And it could be right, case study, 347 inbound leads from Google Ads this month. Make sense? Do those titles make sense to you guys? Okay, so after you got the title, the next thing that you got to figure out in a webinar is the secrets part. So we kind of did this out of order. So title, back this one out. Okay, then secrets. Okay, so the secrets is what you did that got this result, right? Or that backs up this claim. So the secrets then, you're going to give basically in order, right? And so you could have, 4, I would say probably minimum secrets is probably what you need to have at minimum. My text is too big, I guess. Keynote's like, Troyer, calm down. No more content on this slide. And again, I would refer to them as secrets. So let's role play through one of these. Let's say that we are doing it on Google Ads. Okay, we could do something like case study, 5 new leads per day from Google Ads, right? We wanted to make this even sexier. Excuse me, I just burped right into the microphone. We could make this a little sexier. So we could say case study. So we could say like this claim without the problem, right? So we could say, okay, what's everybody's big misconception about Google Ads? Give me some feedback in the chat. We'll make this a little more role play-ish. And man, we only got 9 minutes. Man, this went fast. So Chris is saying, do you find that this works well with regular people versus internet marketers? Yes, this is how I'm building my next agency, Chris. Like quite exactly. Price, exactly. So, example, case study, 5 new leads per day from Google Ads without breaking the bank. There we go. That's a great title, right? That's very compelling. Okay, then what we do is we back it up by our secrets. Let's fix this slide. Email marketing and webinars. All right, so. Okay, so we give them our secrets, and this is the outline for the webinar, guys. Right? Then we go into booking a strategy session at the end of this call. So the strategy session, basically, I see a lot of people kind of pitch strategy sessions wrong. It's like basically like let's create a roadmap for 2000, right? Whatever the current year is, 2019. Marketing in your company is the strategy session, and we say basically if we both think there's an opportunity to work together, great. If not, we'd be happy to refer you to a few other marketing agencies. Right, so this last part, right, takes the pressure off. It's like, well, I have an out. If I don't like this guy, right? After we do the strategy session, I don't have to do business with me. He already told me that he'd introduce me to somebody else. But here's the psychology, right? If I help create a roadmap for you for 2019 in your company, and I lay it out from step 1 to step 10 on how you're gonna double your business or triple your business, right? And I lay out that roadmap and we create that together, right? And I'm getting you to buy into each and every piece of that roadmap. What are the chances that you're gonna say no at the end when I'm like, I can help you do this, right? The chances are low. You've already bought in, right? Like you helped build the roadmap. Now you're gonna tell me no? Give me a 3 if that makes sense. A lot of people do these strategy sessions at the end and they're like, yeah, book a strategy session and we'll talk about, you know, SEO for the next 2 hours. Like they don't want to talk about that, right? So this is a much better way, I believe, to pitch a strategy session. Okay, let's create a roadmap for 2019 for your company that's giving them value. Their roadmap probably sucks, right? If they even have a roadmap for their marketing, right? And by building that roadmap out with them, you're getting them uber invested on everything that you guys are talking about. They're buying into what you're saying. And then at the end, you're just simply giving them an opportunity to help them with pieces in the roadmap, right? So the pieces would be things like this: Google ads and Bing ads, local SEO and Google Maps, Facebook ads for cold traffic. And it could very well be staggered, guys. It could be month 1 to month 3, right? We're gonna engage with you immediately to start on Google ads and Bing ads, right? Paid traffic. And then starting in month 3 or month 4, we're also going to kick off another engagement with you at another $1,000 a month to start doing local SEO and Google Maps, right? 3 months after that, right, we're gonna start doing Facebook ads for cold traffic for another $1,000 with you. So now 9 months in, you're at $3,000 a month recurring. Okay, somebody falls off the bandwagon, right? They cancel services with you and then they jump back on your 3rd webinar, your 4th webinar, and you pitch another strategy session, they show back up. All that you do is resell the vision, right? Where did you leave off? All right, great. Well, that's where we need to start. So Chris Ulrich. Chris Ulrich, does this help you, brother? Could you possibly see how this could fail? Eric says, you're a beast, Joe. Thanks, man. Makes sense. So as long as you build a list of rabid fans, and as long as you make them good offers, you'll always have a business. I don't care what niche you're in. Right? So you got to build that rabid fan base, right? And then you just got to make them good offers that they can't say no to. As long as you do that, you will always have a great business. Always. So what happens, folks? What happens after we run all the webinars, right? So we're at the end of month 3. We just ran our 3rd webinar. What happens? What happens? What do we do? Rinse and repeat, guys. We just start this thing all over again. We just start it all over again. Scott says evergreen it. I wouldn't evergreen it. Here's why. These things change. So how do you stay relevant? How does it stay interesting? If you evergreen this webinar and you're running it through some type of evergreen webinar platform, this webinar is going to get old and stale, right? Why not just run and make the commitment to run 1 webinar a month and make the commitment to change the 10% that needs updated? Add in a new, better case study. Add in a new, better result. Talk about the latest feature that they just added. So then you're always top of mind. Somebody comes to your Google Ads or Bing Ads webinar one time, right? And then they come back the next quarter. They're going to get more value out of it the next quarter because it's updated. Okay, so I'm just repeating the cycle. I'm just repeating the cycle. Okay, so I start back over again. Okay, so month 4 would be month 1, right? And I'm just updating the content inside of it. And again, it's not a complete start over from scratch. It's just an overhaul. It's what's the 10% or what's the 5% that's changed that I can make better? You know, what did I do last time that wasn't very clear? What are the mistakes that I made last time? And it's going to give me an opportunity as well to change my pitch, to up my pitch, to make the content better, to say less times, to say less times, to not sound like an idiot at the 33-minute part when I did a transition from the content to the pitch, right? Like, it's never going to be perfect, but be in that state of always being better.